Okay, so hello everyone, and welcome to the Bootcamp Zurich. So, thank you for joining us. It's really nice to see there are more than 50 people in a call. Thank you to the organizer of this bootcamp to give us this chance to gather as a community and improve our knowledge. Thank you. I know how hard it is to gather the people here to organize the event, such a big event with many sessions. So yes, my name is Vahid Doustimajd, and I'm living in Australia, Sydney, Australia. The time here is 8 p.m. Actually, quarter past 8 p.m. So uh, I wanted to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, based on your time zones. If my name is a little bit new for you guys, because I'm originally from Iran, I'm Persian, and I moved to Australia around more than 3 years ago. And at the moment, I'm living and working here. Little bit about myself and this session. In this session, I want to talk about the maximizing Power BI's capabilities through automation with Power Automate. I want to talk about the Power Automate and how to integrate the Power BI into with Power Automate to have some intelligent solutions. A little bit about myself. I'm a Microsoft Data Platform MVP, Microsoft Certified Trainer. My background is project management consultant. I work as a project control engineer, project manager in the construction. Then I made a big decision and move to the data world. And at the moment, I'm working as a data analytic and reporting lead in a construction company because I have that background for myself. I'm a super user in the Power BI community. Highly recommend you if you like the Power BI, join that community. That's one of the biggest community in the Microsoft side. Every time there are more than 2,000, 3,000 people online there. So you can find that on the net if you search Power BI community. My background, as I said, is industrial engineer. I'm not the IT guy, but I love IT. I love coding. I'm passionate about everything related to the data things. I have a weblog. I'm a blogger, and I'm the active learner. So I always searching for the new things to improve my knowledge. I'm a leader at the Persian Power BI user group, which is one of the Power Platform user groups. So I hold 1 or 2 sessions every month because of that I know how hard it is to gather the people to hold this big session. Uh, my session today will be totally a demo session. I have few slides. I think this is my last slide, actually one slide after this one. What we want to do today, I want to show you how to create the live reports with creating the Microsoft forms, gather the information from there, and automatically have a report to pull the information from the forms when someone submit that forms there and create reports with the information from that reports. Then I will tell you how to add a button on your report to give this option to the end user to click on that one and receive the data directly from the report inside their email as an email with the attachment or receive a message on the Microsoft Teams. And at the end, I will tell you how to execute the X query against the existing data set, how we can run the query without clicking on everything and reschedule that to be done every day, every minute, every hour. And during all of those items, those 3 items, I will show you how to manage the flows outputs to send the email, Microsoft Teams, how to create the C suite there. So feel free to ask your question, unmute yourself, and don't worry about interrupting me. Just shoot your question. I do like to be two ways meeting to talk with each other. And then let me move to the demo section. So I want to talk about the Microsoft Forms and how to connect that to the Power BI while using the Power Automate. If I'm looking this side because my monitor is in this side and my camera is here, I'm not at home actually. I'm in the party. There are millions kids in the yard, so sorry for the background noise. If you hear them, they are playing in the yard. So let's move here. So what I did, I created a very small, simple form here, which is for this bootcamp. I asked 3 questions. What is your name? which country would you like to travel to, and do you like this topic and presentation or not. And I want to connect that to the Power BI and by Power Automate. So first of all, I need to have a data source. I need to have a data set, the data database, somewhere to store the data there. I can create a file on the SharePoint and pull the information from the Power Automate, from the forms, and keep it there. But I want to, in this session, I want to use the streaming data set. So in the Power BI, in the workspace here, I can create a data set here, which is the streaming data set. When you click on that one, there are three options for you. I will click on the API and click on next, and then I need to assign a name to this data set. I will say 2023 for this one, and then there are options I can add there. So it's like creating tables in SQL. You need to define the name of that column and then define the value you want to save in there. So I want to map these three questions, the output of these three questions, to that data set. So I need three columns. And then in the first one, I want to save the name, which is the text. In the second one, I want to save the country name, again, text. And at the end, I want to add the rate you will give to this presentation, but that one is not text, it's a number. So when I select these items, that will create this JSON area here. And then the important thing here, let me open my Zoom it here. Yeah. So the important thing here is to use this one. If I don't click on this one, we have the push data set. With the push data set, you don't have any database behind the scene. So it will be a very small cache assigned to this data set, and all the information will be there for few seconds. So that's good if you want to have a live dashboard and you want to test, for example, if you have one IoT, Internet of the Things, for example, if you have IoT on your fridge, you want to get the temperature of the fridge and you want to show the current temperature of that one, and that IoT send that every second, you can use that one. But I want to keep the history. I want to have the data set there. So if I turn this on, the data set will be the hybrid data set, which means there is a database behind the scene with, and then everything will be saved there, so we can see the historical data inside this streaming data set. That's it. I created my database data set here, and it's added here, so it's here. The other thing I want to do, I want to connect these two to each other. So I will jump to the Power Automate here, click on the new flow, and I want to create the automated cloud flow. I will create the click on that one, and the first item here is when a new response is submitted. So before that, let's talk about the structure of the flow. In the Power Automate, if you want to create a flow, there are two items. First is the trigger, which and then there are some actions. The trigger is when I need to run this flow, when I need to run these actions you want to add. And then the actions means when the trigger happen and give them the green light, those actions will be happen. So I want to run this one when a new response is submitted. So that's okay. So I will click on this one. And then I need to select the from ID. So if I open this drop down, there are some items here. These items are all the forms which I have on my Microsoft Forms. Here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have 5 items here. So I can select which one I want to use. I want to use this one, which is created for this session, and then in the next session, next item, which is the first action for this flow, is again I search for the Microsoft form. Click on this one. There is only one item, and that's get the response details. So if the trigger means a response is submitted, someone submits something there, I can get the information from here. So okay, I want to power again from this form. What options? These options, response ID. There is only one item, so that's easy. So click on this one, and then I got the information now. I got the information from the forms which has been submitted now. So I need to add it to that data set. So another action is, let's say for Power BI actions here. So here there is one items which is the add rows to the data set. So if you submit that form, that will create one line in our data set. So again, I will select my workspace. All I have four data set here, data workspaces here. So I want to save it in a demo because I created this with 2023 inside the demo workspace. So data set will be the data set I created, this one, and the table name is real-time data. If you create a streaming data set, the default name for the table, which is only one table, is the real-time data. So I will select that one. So okay, that's done. We created our flow. What only things remain is to map the data to the columns we created for the data set. So we created 3 columns for that one. So name should be mapped to this question, which is the what is your name. So I can see the questions I created in that form. So the country, which will be which country would you like to travel, and the rate, which I want to map it to, do you like this topic and presentation. That's it. I created this one. Let's test it now. I will save this one and back to the here, and I will open this one and add one submit one form to see how it works or not. I will go there. What is my name? My name is Vahid. And then which country I like to travel? Iran, my homeland. And then I will give a rate to myself. 4 is enough, I think, for myself. And then I submit that one and back to Power Automate to see that works now. Yes, that works. Is still running and it succeed. Done. So let's back to our data set. We need to create a report to see the data there. So go there, create a report, and then we can see those that table name and 3 columns. Let's create a table first here. Add the name. Let me bring it. Oops, it's me. Okay. Okay. My mouse doesn't work very well. Okay, keep it there. If it's happy there, we don't want to make annoy that one. So let's keep it there. And name here. It should be my mouse. Let's move with this one. No, no chance for me. Okay, let's do it from the scratch. No, don't save it. Let's create that again. Create report. This time table. Oh, yeah, this time it works. Good. So I created a very simple one, and I want to add the names, then the country, and then the rate. So yes, I added the Vahid, Iran, and I gave 4 to myself. I will select average to the aggregation of this one to average. So now I need your help. So you can scan this code and the screen, just talk off your phone and then scan this code, or I will share this, not this one, I will share the link in the chat now, and then you can use it and submit your information there to test this flow with each other. So let me send the link in the chat. Okay, this is the link. So, okay, I send it in the chat. You can scan this and complete that with your phone, or just click on the link on the chat, and then we can see the information here. So let me refresh this one to see who is the first one. Nothing submitted yet. Oh, we have one. Suipu, if I pronounce that correctly, want to go to the Argentina and the rate 4. Thank you, mate. So there, oh, thank you. How fast. Let me just add a one map here with the country here. And let's do it at this area. And then at the end of this session, we will check this with each other to see, okay, which place is a good place to travel to. Let me add this bubble size with the count. Yeah. Oh, most of people want to go there. You know, see. So whenever I refresh that one, that will refresh the data set. So you submit that one and that will be refreshed. You can set the refresh for the page to be automatically refreshed, and then you have the live data set and report. Let me save this one here, go through the next one. So I will save it 2023, save it. Okay, that's saved. And if I refresh that again, so there are many here, and most of the people want to travel to Argentina, to Canada, and some people to Australia. Oh, nice. Good, good, good. And I'm the only person want to travel to Iran. So okay, let's back to the business and what was the next one. So any question up to now? I want to move to the next item. If you have any question, feel free to unmute yourself, send it in the chat, or just shoot it to me. No question. Okay, let's go to the next item. So not this one. Demo. I created a very simple report which is connected to the sample data from the Microsoft, which is the finance Excel sheet. So what I want to do, I receive a call from the end user and said, okay, I need the information. I need to copy paste this information and say and have save it in my system. How can I get that in my email? How can I get this information on my Teams as a message and then send it to the other people? I said, yeah, you can click on this one and export it, but there is another one. Yeah, there is another better solution. I can add the button here at the top of this table and give this option to you to click on that one. Give this option to all end users to click on that one and receive data on their emails or on their Teams. So let me open my Teams, my Outlook here. I have a session today morning in Sydney in the reactor, same topic. So there are some data there. I want to first make that clear to have a very fresh chat there and then go through that, creating the button there. So here there is this one. I will delete the chat. Yeah, I will delete this one and I will, in the email side, I will delete all of them. Yes. Yeah, delete all. Okay, let's back to here. So I want to add the button here. So there is one option here. You can see on the screen. That's the Power Automate for Power BI. So I want to use that one. I will click on that one and that open pop up the new window pop up on the screen. What information are there? Said, okay, if you want to create that flow and the button, you need to add data, set up your flow and apply and share it. So first I need to add data. So data I want to use here are same as this table. So let's see what we have here. We have year, country, sales, discount, and profit. So I will open this one. I will add the I will add the year first, and then the sales there, discount, and then the profit. Okay, so we have all the information here. The next one is to set up your flow. I will click on this ellipsis or three dots here and click on edit. When I click on that edit, that will open the Power Automate page inside your Power BI report. So here I can click on new and said, okay, I want to create an instant cloud flow, which will create one trigger for me and by default. And that trigger is Power BI button clicks. So knowing the additional information, as you can see here, needed. Whenever you click on that button, that flow will be triggered and will be started. So, okay, I have this one. First action or first item I need here is the select. Select is one action inside the data operation area, data operation, that's a select. And then that's good to map the data. So I will get the information based on the based on the columns I selected here. And I want to map them here to the select to have one export there. So, okay. So here I want to say, okay, from where the first question is the from, I will select the from the Power BI data here, and then I will map them to each other. So I want a year, which will be the year here, Power BI data year, and then the size, which will be Power BI data says. These names here are similar to these names. Sales, and then after that, discount, and then I want to map the discounts there, and then profit. I would say profit here. So I click the select here, and now I need to manage that one. I need to send those information. First, that user called me and said, okay, I need those information on my Teams. I said, okay, I can create a step there and Microsoft Teams. And then there is an item here, post the message in chat and in the chat or channel. I will select on that one. Then there is a post as a flow bot. Yes, there is a bot. There is a bot. There is a bot, Power Automate bot in the Teams. That's created. You don't need to do anything. That's already there. You just need to use it. So then I will say select the posting. I will select the chat with the flow bot, which I want to chat, receive those data in there. A recipient who will receive that information. So that need to be automatically and dynamic options. The person who click on that button need to receive the data. So here I will select the user email, and then the information here, I want to add that table there to the information from my select items. So here I will click the I will click in the body, and then select. Okay, and here we have select. Yeah. So here we can use the selection items, but before that, I need to create a table. If I run this one, the select output will be something like the JSON, but I want to create a table there. So I will select the operation here again to create a table, and then I want to create HTML table to create a table based on this information, to convert that to the table. So I will select the output of the select, and here in the post message, I will select the output of the create HTML table. So I will receive the data, map it here, create it, shape it as a table, and then send it in a Teams chat. Save it. Save it here, save and apply, and then, and if we get the green light here, we can run we can run it by clicking on the button. Back to the report. So now the shape is different. It's like a button. So here I will make it a little bit smaller. You can change the information on here. You can change that run the flow here to say press to get data, for example, here. And then you can change the color and then you modify that. So let's test it. I will click on this one. Okay, I will click on this one, that will trigger. To check that flow works well or not, if I go to my flows, I can find the flow which I created inside the report here. So that failed. Let's see why that failed. Okay, where that failed. So it failed here in the posting message because so this one works okay. So I can get the information here. I can see the information here, and this one create the table, and I can see this table here. But this one doesn't work. It received everything, but doesn't work. So let's back to here to see why that one doesn't work. Maybe I selected the wrong item there. So we'll fix it in a second. Okay, let's wait for that one. It's a little bit slow. Okay, so let's edit this one. So here, if I back to here, so we have the user email address and the output here, chat with flow. Shouldn't be any problem. Let me just change this one to user email again, and then assign it again. Maybe that's there. And then I assign all of these items correctly. So shouldn't be any error now. Okay, let's run it again. Maybe that was a glitch in the system. Hopefully that's it. So let's run it again and see what will happen there. Shouldn't be fail, and let's fail again. This is interesting. Let me, okay. Sometimes that's happened. Let me do it another way to check if it's my Microsoft Teams or it's because it's like the inputs flow bot. It works very well because it's find my email address here. Sorry, your voice is very low if you are talking with me. Okay, let me just uh, update it with another way. So okay, so let's first do the email one and then back to the Microsoft Teams again. So for now, I will remove this one. Let's create a report. Next step, let's create a email one. So I will select the email here to send the email version 2. There is version 3 here. The difference between them is version 3, you will receive the email from the default email address from the Power Platform, but with this one, you will receive that from your email address. So I select this one. In 2, again, I will select the not sure why it's acting up today. It works very well today morning, but now it's very uh, hmm. User email here, subject, I can add the test here, and then in the body, I want to add this HTML here. So let's test it from now to see, hopefully the email one will works today. Okay, so here, save it, back to report, then, so press this one. And here, let's back here to,
Not healthy.
oh yeah, it's successfully done and I receive an email here. So inside the email, what I have is one line. Why it's one line? Because I missed the country here. So I need to add the country here and then that will be okay. Back to my flow here. And very fast, we can add the country to this flow. Okay, here, edit that one. I just need to that selection add another item for the country, and then that will be okay. So here, I can add the country. So let's to have one thing is same. So let me just fast move this item to one side here. Sales, profit, country, and then let me drive those items again. So here I added the country so I can see it here. Sales should be sales, discount, and the profit should be profit. That's it. Let's test it again. So save and apply. Saving. Okay, done. So let's run that again. So now we have the button. The end user can click on that one, and then they will receive an email with the table inside that inside the body of that one. So you can see this information here. Still, there is a problem because it's not like this report, and that's because the aggregation. Aggregation is very important. You can see here the year is like not meaningless year because the year minute aggregation is sum. If I select that to don't summarize and run it again, then I will receive the same table as this one. So back to the email. And here you can see the Canada 2013 517, and that's 517. The good thing here, if the end user selects some, set some filters here and click on this one, they will receive the table with the current situation. So I select set the filters, and that's make my table smaller, shorter than before. And then in this one, which I receive, is smaller than before. So this is really really good to give this option to the end user and say, okay, you can select whatever you want, and then click on this one, and you will receive those data there. So let's test it again with the teams to see maybe that was the error in the system because it works very well with the email address. And then we will back to see how to create the CSV, because that end user again called me and said, okay, I have the information on the body in the body of the email, but I need the CSV file because I want to create a copy paste it and save it in there and save it on my computer. I say, okay, I can do that for you. So what I need to do first, let's done the CSV, and then at the end we will try the teams again. So we have the email address here. So the issue here we can see is the format of this table is not good. we can format HTML with the CSS code. So I have a CSS code for myself, and I want to apply that for this HTML table. Again, I want to add the action here, and that's a compose, which is again from the data operation compose, and I will paste inside that CSS code. You can find any CSS code on a net to apply that on your table, and then I want to apply that on the create a table here. So let's see what will return when I apply this on my table. I need to make sure to change the output here because it was the table, and now I want to use the output from the compose when I apply the CSS code. So save and apply again. Back to repo, run it again and see what we'll receive here. This time it will be formatted in a better way. So we will receive an email. Yeah, no, not this. Okay. Uh, we receive this one here, and that's formatted now with the header in the column, with the body, and you can add more information here to add the dollar sign here to get rid of this decimal points and everything. But again, called me and said I need the CSV file. So I said, yeah, okay, I can add that for you. So let's back to here and add another step to create a CSV file and assign that as an attachment to that flow. So here, let me edit the flow again. Okay, so now I need to create a CSV file. So again, we can find that in operation here, and then there is item create a CSV table. Make sure when you want to create a CSV file, the output you need to use shouldn't be the compose or create HTML table. It should be the output of the select, because when you format that one, you can't create this CSV table then. So I will select the output of the select, and then here in the send an email, I need to add some information here. So first, attachment content will be output of the CSV, and make sure to add the name with the good prefix for that one. So I will say attachment CSV, attachment attachment, and then dot CSV. We need to make sure add that dot CSV. Otherwise, you will receive a file without any which is not formatted very well. So save and copy, save that one, and apply, and back to report to trigger that again. This time, let me get rid of this filter, press then this one, and this time we will receive an email with the body table in the body and the attachment. So I received this one, body with the and then there is attachment. If I click on that attachment, then I can see all those information here in Excel file. So you can select another action in your flow to save that CSV file on your SharePoint, to send it to another person, or save it in your Azure Data Lake or Azure Blob storage. But here it's okay. Let's do the chat teams again to see if that works or not. Sometimes some of them has an error sometimes, because it worked very well in the morning when I had a station in Sydney Microsoft Office. So here, let me add another option. I want to add another action as a parallel action to the flow. So here I will click and add a parallel branch here to see, okay, send an email, that's okay, but post me those data in a chat with the bot here. So again, I will select the chat with the bot, and in the body of that one, recipient who will receive that one, the email address, who the person who clicked on that button, and here I want to select the output of the HTML table. Okay, let's test it again. Hopefully this time that will work. Back to the report and select another. For example, I want to say it's Germany and Mexico. So, and then click on the trigger the flow again. First, we will receive an email. in the email we have the table and with the attachment, but unfortunately we didn't get any info. Oh yeah, we did. That's nice. uh, Silence. So yeah, we receive it here. So there is a chat here: Mexico, Germany, 2013 and 2014. So if I select another one, if I get rid of this filters, to select another filters and click that one, that will find that who click on that button and will send the information to that person. Again, those information here, you can select that to send those information, not with the chat without Power Automate 2. You can select another person to receive those data, or you can select, okay, these people need to receive that email. So that's another part of this the presentation. Is there any question, or I can move to the next item? No question? Good. So, okay. So now when I created this one, again, the end user called me and said, okay, I don't want to click on this button. I want to receive those data in my email. Whenever and in the morning, I turn on my laptop, I need to receive that email. And I want to receive this information every hours. I don't want to be a person to go through that email, that report, and click on this button. I said, okay, there is a solution and we can do that. We can run the query against this data set and receive that there. So, okay, let me before that back to our reports from that form to see how many people uh, added the information there and what country we have. So it seems still same as before. So it stops there. And okay, the Canada is the first file. Okay, so you can find the chat in the chat that the forms link there, and you can add your information there. Okay, so let's do that there. Let's create another flow here. So I'm going to create another flow, and this in this flow I want to run a query against run a query, a DAX query against the data set. So I will click on the create a new flow, and then I want to create a schedule cloud flow because that person needs those data every hour on his email. So flow name, I will set a user with many requests because that person has many questions from me. So here I want to set, okay, every day from today onward, every minute, every way, let's say every hour from now on and from 10 p.m. today, send those, say, trigger this flow and send those information to that person. Click on the click, and then we have one recurrent trigger here, which set on the interval one every hour, and then you can select even the time zone, start time, and everything here. So the next step here, I want to run the query against the data set. So run a query is one action for the Power BI by it's created here. It's added to the Power Automate, I think 1 year ago. Before that, if you wanted to run a query against the run the X query against the data set, you had to use the API and use the HTTP action inside there, inside the Power Automate. And that HTTP action is the premium one. You have to buy a license for that one. So now is easy. You just need to select that one and run the query here. So I want to run that against the first workspace, demo workspace, and my data set name is demo as well. And then you can run the query here. So the first query I want to run is very easy. Evaluate, and then we need to write the query, DAX query, same as we want to do that inside the DAX Studio. A very easy one, just count rows, and then I have one table here, there, which is the financial table, if I write it correctly, and then I can run it there. So what you can do if you want to create that and you don't know the name there. So if my computer handle the different resolution correctly. So I want to do this one. I don't know the code there. So what I can do, I can run the optimization. Sorry, I can run the performance analyzer, start that one, refresh the visual, and that will give me the table. And there is the one button here, copy query. So if I copy paste that query inside the flow, that will create the same table for me. So let's save it and then test it. Test it here manually and test there. So you don't need to know the DAX. You don't need to write the DAX from the scratch. You can find the DAX code easily by running that performance analyzer there. And the output of this will be at, oh, yeah. So what I need to do, I need to go back to here in the demo one. Oh no, sorry. Here, I need to get rid of this one here, and then refresh this one. Yeah, so I have 2 or 1 minutes. I will be fast to show this one to you. So here, table again, and then copy query back to here to my flow, and then change the query to have this one, and then test it and manually run it. So I copy paste the DAX query from inside of the performance analyzer. Then that the output of that one will be the same table as what I have on my repo. So here, the output, it's same as that one. So you can see there is a Canada 2030, then all the information from sales, discount, profit. From this item onward, it's same as the previous item I showed you. You can add this, create a HTML table, you can add the Teams bot, you can add the email, and you can manage the output to create the CSV file and everything. And this time, it will be run every hours or every day. You don't need to give this to ask the people to click on any button. That will be run automatically. So that's end of this one. Hopefully you enjoyed this session, and if there is any question, I'm happy to answer. If there is not, I would like to say thank you to the sponsor of this event, to supporting the community, to have this chance to gather as a community and improve our knowledge with together. If you like this topic and you want to have more information about that one, you can go to my website vahid.com. I wrote more than 5 or 6 blogs about that one, and these days I focus on Power BI and Power Automate, especially with the API. So you can find my blog post there. And thank you again.